Hi, Agape family. So this is our memory verse for week 21, and it comes to us from Matthew 7:24, and it says, "Everyone who hears these words and does them will be like the wise man who built his house on a rock." So let's start with the beginning, everyone. So to do the sign for everyone, you're going to take your knuckles on both hands, and you're going to brush every single finger. So you're going to say everyone. So show the number 1. Everyone. So we have everyone who hears. So you're going to cup your ear to show hearing. Who hears these words, okay? So when we're doing our ASL, the words are not physically in front of us. So we can't say these words because they're not written on a piece of paper. They're not in front of us. So really, we just want to emphasize the words, okay? So we're going to say these words. So this is our sign for words. And you can think of it because it kind of looks like a letter P. And what do we make words out of? Letters. So we have everyone who hears these words. And you can emphasize the by looking at the words. These words of mine. So we know that in who's speaking here is Jesus. So we're still going to use the word, the sign for mine by putting our hand on our chest, but we are quoting Jesus. So we know that Jesus is the one that's speaking, okay? So we have everyone who hears these words of mine and does them. So does is sort of a funny one because does is just doing something. It's an action. So we're going to have our hands in front of us and we're just going to be doing things, okay? Showing action, okay? So we have everyone who hears these words of mine and does them will be like. So we've done the sign before for same as when we're talking about when we were comparing things. So will be like, okay, we're going to do the same sign. A wise man. So for wise, we make an X or a hook hand, and we're going to bring it to our forehead, showing our brain and how wise we are. So we have everyone who hears these words of mine and does them will be like the wise. And then the next sign is man, but I think this applies to everybody. So we're just going to show the sign for person. So it's going to be like the wise person who built. So built is just like stacking blocks on top of each other. Okay. So that's the sign for built. So the wise man who built his house. So house is also a really fun one. You're just going to make a house out of yourself, kind of like a roof. Okay, so built a house on. So the same way we were building, we're just going to show on. Okay, on. And what did he build his house on? A rock. So our sign for rock is this. It's showing something hard. Rock. All right, so let's put that all together. We have everyone who hears these words of mine and does them is like the wise man who built his house on a rock. And that comes to us from, again, Matthew. So we're going to do our ASLM, right? So we have Matthew. And then 7 is our thumb and ring finger together. So we have 7, and then 24 will be 20 and 4. And that is it for week 21.